Welcome. Stick around if you want to learn about the art and philosophy of beautiful movement mixed with evidence-based exercise science. We will be having tough and inspiring conversations with other coaches, experts, artists, and athletes. Our goal is to challenge myths, explore concepts, and engage in healthy debate as we dive deep with intrigue and curiosity. I'm your host, Hannah Deutscher. I've been teaching dance, Pilates, and yoga for over 2 decades. And what I've learned is that movement can be the joy that integrates us all together. When we can trust and express ourselves through our bodies, we are unlimited in our ability to change ourselves and our communities for the better. We, as movement teachers and coaches, have the power to help people experience this for themselves. Okay, everyone, let's dive in. Exchanging ideas and changing people's lives one session at a time. This is the Pilates Exchange. Have you ever had a client ask you, are you a Pilates teacher or are you an instructor? Yeah? No one has ever asked me. I just want to put that out there. Thousands of clients over 2 decades. No one has ever asked me that question. But other teachers, other instructors have asked me that, or I've witnessed this whole conversation unfold, which I find very interesting. Not only in the Pilates world, but it happens in the dance world and the yoga world. I think Pilates is actually a little bit late to the game over the last decades from what I'm seeing. So why are we talking about this? I don't know. It just keeps on coming up. So I want to address it, at least with my point of view on here. I was at a conference. It was not so long ago. A few years ago. And people were going around and introducing each other. And I'm a yoga instructor. And the next person goes, well, I'm a yoga teacher. And I was just thinking, oh, okay. All right. Well, what are you defining? What is the difference to you? And I don't think that, let's go here. What do you think the differences are here? Let's say that yoga, when we're talking about yoga teaching, Pilates, dance, like movement, I don't think that there's a big difference between those things. We're delivering movement to people. I think there's a bigger distinction between yoga and the rest of the things because there's a philosophical element that's there. It's a lifestyle. It's many things. It has a deep rooted in religion as well. Whether you take the religion in or out of it, that's up to how colonized it is. That's a whole different discussion. But when we're just talking about how we're delivering movement to our clients, the case has been made that an instructor guides clients through structured classes or routines, demonstrates skills, provides cues and corrections. A teacher would be someone that goes beyond instruction to educate clients on the principles and philosophy, customizes session to individual needs, and encourages deeper body awareness and personal growth. Okay, so that's been a recent post by the Pilates journal that I'm looking at right now. And then if I were to go further and take a look at some of the discussion that's been on, say, in different yoga areas. So let's see that. Instructor is a person who instructs people what to do. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Inhale, arms to the sky. Okay, that's the same thing that we would do in Pilates. And they say you can go through an entire class with an instructor and not learn a single thing. I'm going to link to this article that I'm looking at, or this blog that I'm looking at. I don't agree with that. So then their point is that a teacher goes beyond and they teach you something. There's added an educational element, a mental element, teaching more anatomy or teaching something philosophical in there. I'm going to go the extra mile and say, I don't think it matters. I'm going to be really honest with you. I think the bigger discussion has got to be not on the definition itself, but on the skills that we need to be able to deliver what the client needs. I think that there's a bigger deficit in the worlds of movement on identifying where that person is, the client, where the person is in their learning journey and choosing the skills that they need and like delivering that movement in a way that's palatable for them to understand something different. Okay. So there are many people that I have that are in my studio that they do not need anything other than inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, step your foot forward. They don't need anything else. They don't need an anatomy thing. They don't need a Mr. Pilates believes that we should do blah, blah. They just don't need it. What they need is to know how to move their body precisely in space because there's so many things that are going on in their body, in their mind, in their daily life. If I bog them down with some anatomy discussion about why this is important or this angle of the elbow joint is going to make your triceps work more. They don't care. And it's detrimental to the overall promise that I've made to them on delivering to their goals, right? Now, this is where it gets tricky because I believe that we should be getting to know our people that we're teaching in our studio space enough to know what it is they're trying to achieve. That's my personal feeling, right? For us in our studio, it's small enough that I know every single person that's in there. My teachers know every single person that's in there. And that's important for me because I want to understand how they learn. How are they getting the information in their brains to help? And then that's how we help them. We have discussions among our team like, okay, this person needs more metaphors. This person needs more anatomical instruction. This doctor needs this and this and this. And I think there's where the magic starts to really happen is understanding what does that person need and then delivering it on there. So whether you define yourself as an instructor, as a teacher, as an educator, as a coach, I don't think it matters. I don't think that writing something different on your website is going to seal the deal, whether those potential clients come into your studio or not. I think what's important is how do you make them feel within that session? Do they feel confident? Do they feel empowered? Do they feel like they know how to move their body in the way that you're instructing them to do? Do they feel like the movements that you're teaching them are delivering an experience that's going to help their life further? Is the method, the way that you're teaching the method, so divorced from their normal life that it's like Pilates lives in its own little corner? So I do Pilates, and then it has no influence on how they pick their kids off of the floor or how are they gardening? It's a tiny thing, but like, how are we taking the movements that we are using, like on the reformer, on the Pilates mat? It doesn't even matter what you're teaching that movement, but does it make sense to them how those movements relate to them? And I think that is a stronger skill set to help them go further. I think that you will have clients for longer if that's making sense for them. That's a personal opinion here, not just a personal. Yeah, it is a personal opinion because that's what I've seen work in the studio. That's what I've seen work in the 10 years of this studio and over 25 years of teaching Pilates and even longer with different movement. So is the discussion valuable? Maybe it's valuable for you to think about, well, how are you delivering in the movement and where do you feel like you, the teacher, the instructor, the coach, where you feel like your skill set could be improved? Maybe it is that you feel like, I can go deeper in my cueing. Maybe my cueing is not as precise as it could be. Maybe my cueing needs an extra level of there. Maybe I'm not able to deliver on that second, third, fourth level of getting people to go deeper into the movement. Maybe I need help with structuring my classes. Maybe I need a little bit more anatomy. Maybe I need, like maybe it's in the coaching part of it. Maybe it's in the relating to others element. Maybe it's in the how you deliver. How are you using your voice? How are you standing in the room? Like maybe that's the skill set that you would like to develop. And that only happens when you're being aware of how deep and beautiful teaching movement actually is, right? It isn't just teaching the actual movements. You can go deeper, right? You can go deeper in that. But on the other side, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can look it up for yourself. How many people right now are just sedentary, right? Like there's so many potential clients that are there. They sit on their butts all day. All they're looking for, all they really need is to get their bodies moving. So if you could deliver on that, if you could deliver a workout, a training? Like, and then there's the other discussion. Is it a workout? Is it a training? Do I deliver only sessions? I don't care. I don't think the person cares either. I think that they just want you to get them moving in a way that feels good on their bodies. We could do a deep dive on the semantics of session, training, workout, and I still will probably bring you back to the same idea. It doesn't matter so much. What matters is that you are in your materials, in your website, in the way that you're talking about it, you're delivering the information in a way that is exciting for the people to join you, right? Because you just want them in your doors, in your classrooms, in your studio, so that you could do the magic of the movement. If we get too hoity-toity with, it's this or it's that, I think that we make it inaccessible. Sometimes if we say, it's on the Pilates equipment, it's only on the Pilates apparatus. Well, that's the word that he used, the apparatus. I tell you that people don't know what that word means. So if we get to like, I do sessions, Pilates sessions on the apparatus. If you have a person that's not in the Pilates world and they're reading that on your website, they're going to have no idea what they're doing. Really, I believe that. I think that you make it palatable, you make it easy to understand, and you get the people in the door, and then you could start teaching them philosophy, and you could teach them all the different principles. You could teach them all the different breathing techniques. Great, that's awesome. But I want you to focus on how, rather than trying to impress another Pilates teacher or yoga teacher or dance teacher, educator, coach, I want you to forget all that other stuff. There's very few of us that are teaching other teachers, right? What you should be focused on, the vast majority of people out there that are listening to this podcast, what I really want you to do is focus on how to get more people moving. How are we going to do that in a way that empowers, inspires, motivates? That's where I want you to put all of your energy on. That's how I want you to show up on your social media. That's how I want you to show up on your website, in all of your flyers, your educational material, in your advertisements, however that looks like. Because I believe that that's going to go the extra mile. It really does. It's going to be the way that helps people find you, that you are willing and ready to meet them where they are. I believe that that's the most important conversation to have. So teach them how you want, instruct them how you want, coach them how you want, help them grow, help them discover, help them move their bodies, and you're doing a great job. All right, that's it for today. Have a great rest of your day. Happy teaching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. A great cost-free way of supporting us and the podcast would be to give us a 5-star rating. You can also look down into the show notes and grab any one of the free resources for teachers. I hope to see you next week on the Pilates Exchange. Happy teaching, everyone.